Welcome students. Today we move on to Russian Revolution and its impact. So impact is nothing but results. So what happened during the Russian Revolution? What was the result of that revolution? Revolution means in Tamil we call it Purachi. So opposing something is called as revolution. The biggest outcome of the war, the Russian Revolution, was unique in world history. So, the biggest outcome, the biggest result of First World War was it gave rise to the Russian Revolution, which was unique, which was something very particular in world history. The socio-political and economic conditions prevailing in Russia were brought to a head by the vast losses and sufferings caused by the war. So, there was changes in the social, political and economic conditions that were in Russia because there were changes because the people there, the Russian country as a whole, they suffered losses and they suffered huge sufferings. So that was the reason. There were really two revolutions in the year 1917. So remember, this year is very important. So when did the Russian Revolution take place? It took place in 1917 and it took place in two different months, one in March and the other in November. On the abdication of the Tsar, so Tsar here is the king of the Russian Empire. After he resigned, so when he resigned, the Bocuse government came into existence. So the government was called as the Bocuse government, they came into existence. The Bocuse government wanted to continue the war. Now remember, the First World War went in for 4 years from 1914 to 1918, but Russian Revolution is right now taking place in 1917. So when the king Tsar, when he resigned, the other government which came in, they wanted to continue the war, but the people were against it, but the people did not want to continue. So there was a second great uprising. So one part of it was they didn't want to go for the war, but there was another uprising, another group coming up under the guidance. So who was the leader for that was Lenin. So who seized power, who seized means who came to power, and he established a communist government in Russia. So he formed a government which is called as a communist government. Communist means somewhere like everything is under a collective measure. So that's what we call it as a communist government in Russia. The first one is social causes. Social means we know it is society, is the surrounding, social. In Russia, Peter the Great and Catherine II attempted westernization without changing the social conditions. So in Russia, there are two people here, Peter and the other one is Catherine II. They tried to westernize their Russia without changing the social conditions. Social means the society's condition. The Russian peasants, peasants means farmers, were serfs. This word is very important. Serf is nothing but they are people who are slaves working for land. Okay, so they are farmers, we call them right now, but in that time these farmers were treated as slaves, and those people are called as serfs. Were serfs tied to lands, so they were working as slaves to lands owned by wealthy Russians. So the land was owned by wealthy Russian people, and the farmers worked there. They had to pay for them and all those stuff, and they were treated as slaves. After Russia's defeat in the Crimean War, some reforms were introduced. So Russia underwent a defeat in the war named as Crimean War, and some reforms, reforms means changes, were introduced. In 1861, Tsar Alexander II abolished serfdom. So when Tsar Alexander II came into position in 1861, he abolished means he totally destroyed serfdom. Serfdom is slavery in farmers, okay, and emancipated means he freed up the serfs, he gave freedom to the serfs. but they were not given enough land to subsist. So but even though he freed them up, they were not given land to maintain. These peasants became the powder keg for the revolution. So these peasants, these farmers were the reason for the Russian Revolution to take place. The laborers and workers whose number had increased on account of industrialization were aggrieved as they got very low wages. So right now at that point of time, as you see, there was huge industrialization, lot of industries coming up. So lot of laborers were there, lot of workers were there, and these workers and laborers were not given, they were given low wages. Wages means money, and that was one of the reason why they had to pick up for the Russian Revolution. The role of revolutionary. So what do you mean by revolutionary? I said revolution means Purachi. So people who undergo revolution are called as revolutionaries, people. The spread of revolutionary ideas among the intelligentsia and their repression by the Tsar's government made the socialistically inclined students to carry their propaganda to the peasantry. So the revolutionary ideas, the spread of revolutionary ideas among, so this idea of revolution spread among intelligentsia, that means educated people. Where did this idea spread? To the educated people, and their repression, repression means suppression. So they are trying to suppress, and this was suppressed by the Tsar's government. Made the socialistically inclined students to carry their propaganda to the peasantry. So they were trying to take this issue to the peasantry, means to the farmers. In course of time, so during that time, these students disillusioned. So here, as you say, they were disappointed. Disillusion means they were disappointed with the outcome of their work with their peasants, and they took to terrorism. So they were disappointed, and out of that, because of that, they went to terrorism. Yet the revolutionary forces swelled with the joining of many minority groups like Jews and Poles. So what happened is, so the revolutionary forces, people who were rebelling, they swelled means they started to multiply. How did they multiply? Small groups. Minority means small groups like the Jews and the Poles started to get attached to these revolutionary forces. Some based on the Marxist philosophy. So some groups were based on Marxist philosophy. Marxist is Karl Marx philosophy. New ideas began to take shape, and a social and democratic labor party was formed. So because of these new ideas, what happened is a democratic labor party was formed, because we know that here the fight is between the laborers. Okay, the normal farmers are having a kind of aggression. The Marxists declared themselves against acts of terrorism, but the Marxist people, that's a group who were the group of people who were following Karl Marx principle, they were against terrorism. They believed that the working class had to be roused to action. So what did these Marxist people believe? That they thought the working people should be made known, or they should be roused, means they should be brought to action, and only by such mass action, by that huge action, they could achieve their goal. That was the thought of the Marxist. Autocracy of the Tsar. Now you can see Tsar Nicholas II. Autocracy is when one person has complete power of a nation, we call this as autocracy. Tsar Nicholas II of Romanov dynasty had little experience of government. So this man, Tsar Nicholas II, he was from dynasty, means empire, from Romanov dynasty. He had very much less experience about government. His wife Tsarina Alexander was a dominant personality. So whereas his wife was a very famous and a very dominant personality, and Nicholas was under, so Tsar Nicholas II was under her strong influence. Nicholas mistrusted means he did not trust most of his ministers. So, in his government he did not trust his ministers, and he was surrounded by flatterers. Flatterers are people who say certain things for the benefit of the king. They don't say the truth, but just try to go along with the king. Those are called as flatterers. Determined that Russia should not be left out in the scramble for colonial possession. So, here, as we already learnt, so many powerful countries, they went in search of colonies all over the world. So, here Nicholas also had that same thought, Russia should not be left out without getting colonies. So, he encouraged Russian expansion in Manchuria. So, what he thought is, he thought that Russia should go and fight for Manchuria. This provoked a war. So, that is the reason there was a war with Japan in 1904. So, this happened in 1904. Russian Revolution is happening in 1917. The resulting Russian defeat. So, at that point of time when Russia went to war with Japan in 1904, Russia met a defeat, and this led to strikes and riots. So, because they had defeated, there were a lot of strikes in that country, in Russia, and riots is stealing things, okay. It's called riots. On 22nd January 1905, Father Gapin, a priest, organized a march of men, women and children on the Tsar's Winter Palace in St. Petersburg, demanding a representative national assembly and agrarian and industrial reforms. So, what happened here is, on 22nd January 1905, there was a priest called Father Gapin. He collected all the men, women and children, and he made a march, and he had a protest, a rebellion, till which place he went is Tsar's Winter Palace, which is at St. Petersburg. It's a place. And why did he march up to that point? He wanted three things. He demanded for three things. He wanted a representative for the National Assembly. National is country's assembly. And agrarian. Agrarian is cultivated land. He wanted farmers to have their own cultivated land, and he wanted some changes. Reforms means changes in the industry. But police and soldiers fired on the possession. So, what happened is, police and the soldiers at that point of time, they fired those men, women and children who went on a march. Hundreds were killed and many thousands were wounded. The events of this day, that is that march, we call it, was known as a Bloody Sunday. This led to, so this was a reason for riots, strikes, and violence. So, this Bloody Sunday, which where police and soldiers killed a lot of men and women, was called as a Bloody Sunday, and because of that there were a lot of riots, strikes and violence, in which the Governor General of Moscow, who an uncle of Tsar, was killed by a bomb. So, because of this, uncle of Tsar, who was the Governor General of Moscow, he was killed by a bomb. Nicholas was forced to grant a constitution. Constitution is set of rules to run the government, okay. So, Nicholas was forced to grant a constitution, and he established a parliament which he called as the Duma. This was no longer satisfactory to the left-wing parties that formed a Soviet Council of Workers delegates in St. Petersburg, led by Trotsky. So, here now this formation of the parliament, which is called as the Duma, it was not satisfying to the revolutionaries, the people who were rebelling. Those people are called as left-wing parties, and these were people of the Soviet. We have already learnt that, and this group was led by Trotsky. Similar Soviets were set up in other cities. So, similar groups were set up in different other countries, cities. The Duma, that is the name of the parliament, gave the middle classes a voice in the government. So these people who were there in the parliament, they were able to say what they felt to the government. So the moderates were supportive of the government's policy, while the left wing are people who are rebelling, revolutionaries, whereas the left wing continued their opposition. So the moderate people, they were supporting the government policies, whereas the people who are rebelling, they always continued to rebel, oppose. Opposition to Tsar and dissolution of Duma. The outbreak of the First World War had temporarily strengthened the monarchy as Russia allied to France and Britain. We already know that Russia was on the side of the Allies. They were together with France and Britain. As there was rumor of a palace revolution, so there was a rumor, it was not sure, but there was a thought that there's going to be a revolution which is called as a palace revolution. Nicholas made himself the commander in chief of the army. Now, because there was a rumor, Nicholas, what he did is he made himself as the commander in chief to the army, Russian army. At the end of 1916, Rasputin, who had a domineering influence over the Tsar and the Tsarina, was murdered by a member of the Tsar's family. So, in 1916, if you see, the Rasputin, a person called Rasputin, he was an domineering influence. So, he was a kind of an arrogant man. He was killed by a member of the Tsar's family. The members of the St. Petersburg Soviet were arrested. So, because of this, what happened is the Soviet, St. Petersburg Soviet, they were arrested, members. Soviet is a group, okay. Whenever the Duma opposed the Tsar's move, so Duma is the parliament. So, whenever the parliament opposed what the Tsar moved, it was dissolved. So, immediately it was dissolved, means it was corrected, and fresh elections were held. Without change of government policy, the fourth Duma ended with the revolution of 1917. So, without changing the policy of the government, the fourth Duma, that's the fourth consecutive parliament, ended with the revolution, and this revolution took place in the year 1917. Popular uprisings. Uprisings are nothing but coming up. New things that are coming up are called as uprisings. Even on 23rd February 1917, when the socialists celebrated International Working Women's Day on that day. So, this is a very important event. The women in 23rd February 1917, they celebrated International Working Women's Day. The Tsar seemed unchallengeable, but he had to abdicate. So, abdicate means he had to resign on the morning of 2nd March because they were marching for it. Though none called for strikes, fearing that the time was not ripe for militant action, the bread shortages among women textile workers, many with husbands in the army, forced them to go on strike anywhere and march through the factory areas of Petrograd, the capital of the Russian Empire. So, at that point of time, you can see that they were fighting, there was no food. So, that's what we call it as bread shortages. So, food was lacking there. And so many of them, many of the husbands were in the army, so they were forced to go on a strike. So, where did they go and strike is in the factory areas of Petrograd, which is now we saw Petersburg, right. So, that place, and this is Petrograd is the capital of the Russian Empire. Masses of women workers demanding. So, why did these people go to Petrograd? Because they were demanding bread for workers. So, they were shouting, they were opposing, they needed bread. Bread means food for workers. Waved their arms towards factory workers and shouted. So, they waved their hands and they went towards the factory workers and shouted, "Come out, stop work." The city's 4 lakh workers joined the movement. So now remember the women, they went against this, they were in the march. Now who's joining is even the city workers are joining the movement the next day, that is 24th of February. Abdication of Tsar. Abdication, again that word is resigning of Tsar. The government used the troops to break the strike. So when they saw huge people joining together against the government they are using their militant force to break the strike. But soon mutinies are nothing but open open opposition done by soldiers are called as mutinies. But soon mutinies broke out in the barracks. Barracks means camps. Camp where soldiers stay are called as barracks. The Tsar ordered a declaration of martial law. Martial law is military law. So the king Tsar, what he did is he ordered for a military law. But his order was not broadcast. But his order was not into force in the city, as there was no one to do this job. So the king was making an order. He wanted to strike the people, but no one was ready to make this. The Tsar then tried to return to Petrograd. So what the king was trying to do is he wanted to go to that place where this rebellion was happening, which is the Petrograd. The railway workers stopped his train. So what did the railway workers do? They stopped his train. The generals at the front and some leaders in Petrograd, frightened by these developments. So the government generals at the front place and some leaders who were there in Petrograd, they were frightened by these developments and they pleaded with the Tsar, that is the king, to abdicate. Abdicate is to resign. So they saw that it was a huge group of people, so they pleaded Tsar to resign. On 15th March, Nicholas II abdicated. So on 15th March, he resigned from the post. Next we have provisional government. There were two parallel bodies to take on government functions. Now here after the king resigned, there were two groups, bodies means two groups, to take off the government functions. Okay, one was the Borchuse politicians of the old state Duma, comprising propertized classes. So one group was Borchuse politicians, which we already saw. Okay. On the other, there were workers' delegates drawn together in a workers' council or Soviet. The other group was workers' delegates, a group of people. Okay, so workers. The workers' delegates in the Soviet were influenced by the underground left wingers. So these delegate workers, so these workers, they were influenced, they were attracted by the left wingers. Those in the Duma were able to form a provisional government. Provisional means temporary. Okay, so the people in the Duma is nothing but the Borchuse politicians. They were able to form a provisional government with the consent of the Soviets. So with the permission of the Soviet group, they were able to form the government. The Soviet was dominated, so now, by Mensheviks, and the minority Bolsheviks were timid and undecided. So Bolsheviks are, the Borchuse groups are called as Bolsheviks. They were timid and they were undecided, whereas the Soviet group, which is called as the Mensheviks, they were dominating, they were ruling. The situation changed, but this situation changed with the arrival of Lenin. So he is a very important person. Lenin was born in 1870 near the Middle Volga to educated parents. So he was born in 1870 to educated parents. Influenced by the ideas of Karl Marx. So he was very much interested in the ideas of Karl Marx. Lenin believed that the way for freedom was through mass action. So what was his thought? By combining group of people, we can always fight for freedom. That was the thought in his mind. He spent his time taking classes for study groups of factory workers in St. Petersburg on Marxism. So, most of his time he spent his time taking classes for factory workers. These workers were working in St. Petersburg, that is what we already studied. What classes he was taking? About Karl Marx and his ideas. He was arrested in 1895 and was kept in Siberia. He was arrested because he was making people, he was changing the people there, so he was arrested. The Social Democratic Party split on the issue of organization and strategy. Lenin gained the support of a small majority. So, now what happened is Lenin was able to get the support of a very small majority called as the Bolsheviks, which became the Bolshevik party. So, a group of people were there and those people were called as Bolsheviks, and the party was called, the group was called as Bolshevik party. His opponents, so opponents means the group opposite to Bolshevik is a minority. Minority is a very small group which is called the Menshitovo, and they were called as Mensheviks. So, to go through this is one part of the Russian Revolution.